I was going to say, wait, everybody check their speakers, 5 by 5.
G'day.
I was muted. We're all good.
G'day, everybody. G'day. Welcome. It's Saturday. Hey, everyone. How are you? We've had a big week here in the real world. I hope you've had a really good week. Yama, everything's upside down today because of the big week that we've all had. But we're going to have some fun, and we've got some really interesting stuff coming, and we've got some good visitors in the house. So, yeah, g'day. I'll just slow down a bit because we've just been laughing. So let's see who we got in the house today. And I hope you had a really good week, and I hope it wasn't full like ours. And if it was, we're going to laugh our way back on the weekend. So, all right, where are we? Everybody, we got g'day, Jules, as usual. Thanks for coming. How you going? And Malia, we got Malia this week. How you going, sister?
And once I get unmuted, it'll be good. Yeah. Hi, Joel.
Hello. Good to see you. It's been a while.
Yes, it has. Not that long though. Too bad. Well, actually, I've been out for a few weeks, haven't I? It's been a bit. I've been busy.
Yep.
It's been a busy, crazy, wrap up to the Ides of March, right?
Yeah, I'll be glad when it's in the rearview mirror.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's the Ides. Definitely the Ides.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Let's all blame it on the Ides. All right, so
I agree.
Start with that all upside down. So let's shake up the bag and see what we got for this weekend. So, what have we got? Oh, yeah, Black Pyramids and the Devil's Marbles in Australia. But the Black Pyramids are very interesting, and if we've got time for Devil's Marbles, we'll get over to that. And we got our Something Beautiful coming as well, and a new one, the Word of the Week. We're going to have a Word of the Week, and maybe some more about that. So, but first, the Black Pyramids. If you didn't know that there were Black Pyramids, there are Black Pyramids. We'll start with that. Maybe I should make another sign that says it's the Black Pyramids, not the Ides. So there's Black Pyramids everywhere, and we've been busy collecting stuff to show you on the Black Pyramids, and we've got some interesting theories about that as well, and we've got some slides. Hello, beautiful. How are you? We got a.
Can you say hello?
Extra visitor. Thanks, sweetheart. You wanted to be heard.
You want to say hello? Say hello, Rowan.
Hi, Rowan.
It's a Saturday here. And you won't see some of the stuff that I got in
Okay.
Beautiful this week.
Okay, get down.
All right. So we're going to, we might as well just get on with it. The Black Pyramids. We're just going to get into it this week. The Black Pyramids. So we got some really interesting articles on the Black Pyramids. And thank you for being here, I should say to everyone. I can slow down now. I've been such a rush and got home and did all this stuff ready for the show, and it was in such a rush. And now that I'm here, I'm just really relaxed. So that's a good thing. All right, Black Pyramids. Oh, here I've got some slides for you. And they're all over the world. And we'll just have a look at some slides, and then we're going to get into some articles. So this one is supposedly inside the Alaskan mountain somewhere. That's what they reckon. There's a lot of things said about these, and we're going to discuss them. So we'll just have a quick look. And Malia's going to help us out this week with some really cool stuff. So we'll just flick through them. They're quite interesting. And
where's that up? That one's up in Antarctica?
Yeah. I was just going to say, I could have sat here all night last night and got so many pictures of all the mountains that look like pyramids all over the world, miss. You got no idea. They're hiding more from us than they say. So there's an aerial view if someone went and sized it up.
That looks like the ones on Mars,
So
kind of. Yeah.
they're everywhere.
It's definitely a flat-sided pyramid.
Yes. Yeah. And you don't know, there's that one again, the Black Pyramid. You don't know until well, that one here, I looked in Australia, as I do with everything, right? Couldn't find Black Pyramid. This is just general, nothing to do with my culture. But I did find Black Pyramid Island, and I'm thinking, why would they call it a Black Pyramid Island? Was that a pyramid once? And it got blew up or washed away. And I kind of put it up there to have a look because if you have a look at the way it's structured, I don't know, there was just something about it. It looks like there's layers in it somehow. It doesn't say much about it. I do have a small article on that and explains it, but why would they call it the Black Pyramid Island? Anyway, keep going. Here's another one. That's the one I said earlier, Malia. Yeah, with that fellow with the big long name that you're going to pronounce and I don't have to.
Yeah. The let me get her. Amenemhet. Amenemhet.
Yeah, that's it.
The third in Dashashur.
Yeah,
The
that's
Black Pyramid, right?
And then underwater, this is images from underwater. Someone's outlined it to show you. If you can't see it in the top frame there, they're underwater as well. And there's another view of another place underwater. That'd be interesting to see. And then we got that one. We've got a few on that, and we've got an article on that. We're going to get into this one. It's been cracked. You just view it from different sides. It's been cracked, and it's there's more than one of them. And the second one there looks like the outer layers actually coming off. So we're going to get into that. So there you go, people. We're going to get into that. We'll go back and. All right. So, all right. I just want to say g'day to everybody. G'day, everybody. We got Brother Ken. G'day, Ken. How you doing? Future use. G'day. One Polly. Come when you're ready, my brother. Sid. I already said that. Thriller. Ron. Anyone else out there watching that? You know, haven't said your name. All my sister girls out there. All right. Let's get this show on the road. What have we got in articles here, Malia? Where do you want to start?
Here, I'll share. Let's share screen here.
Yeah. Share your screen, and I'll put you up there. Hang on, I'll just swap you over. I'm going to put you.
There you go.
When you start talking, going up.
You're not gonna make me. Okay, good.
Yeah.
No, the other way.
Okay.
Because then I won't be able to pay attention to the screen. I'll be like, wait, no, what am I reading again? Here, wait.
Okay. Here we go.
All right. So I was thinking we could start with this one.
That one, yep.
I'm not going to start with the hard one because it's going to be hard enough as it is.
Yeah, that is yeah. We'll do that one.
You'll know what I'm talking about in a minute. So this one is from Luna, and it comes from the Daily Star, and a pretty recent article from October 14th, 2023. I'm just going to read it, right? Right, Luna?
Yep.
And then we can stop. If you guys have something to say, just stop me.
Yeah. All right.
The Black Pyramid is larger than Giza structures, is hidden beneath Alaska, U.S. official claims. Agent Doug Muchler claimed to uncover a huge subterranean pyramid buried in an enclave in Alaska larger than one in Giza. Then the government did all they could to hide it. Deep underground the Alaskan wilderness may lie a ginormous black pyramid which is concealed by a top-secret government facility, a former U.S. official claimed. Ex-counterintelligence agent Doug Mushler never intended to stumble upon the alleged spooky tomb. But in September 1989, the espionage and terrorism specialist was posted to Fort Richardson on the outskirts of Anchorage, and his life changed forever. The first thing that any agent would do is find their bearings for the area of operation, and since this was decades ago, Google wasn't around to help. As Doug pulled out his old-school map, he said he noticed a whited-out enclave in the mountains which had not been filled in, and his suspicions were immediately raised. When I was putting the maps out, there was this one area that was whited out, which was inscribed with, quote, "This area not surveyed to date," end quote. He revealed in a video on Quest's YouTube channel. Quote, "With my counterintelligence background, parentheses, I knew they're hiding something," end quote. Life as an intelligence officer meant that you worked on a need-to-know basis. Doug quickly let his suspicions slide. Fast forward to 1992, and China had just set off its biggest ever underground nuclear explosion, 70 times the explosive power of the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Shockwaves were reportedly felt as far as Alaska and picked up by earthquake-analyzing equipment, and a local TV news station reported on an eerie finding. They claimed a giant subterranean pyramid had shown up on the equipment. The agent recalled the news anchor reporting, "In Alaska, a pyramid was found larger than the one in Giza, eclipsing it by almost 70 feet.
Oh,
Its position..." What? Go ahead.
hang on. Did you just say that it was what did they blow up? Sorry. I just heard they blew it up.
China had set off in 1992. China set off. They're insinuating that China set off its biggest ever underground nuclear explosion, that was 70 times the explosive power of the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. So
I didn't even know that.
I'm. It would be a guess. Let me do some research really quick before I come right out. But I think that's the same 92. That's the Clinton years, right?
I don't know.
Yes.
So we're looking at a lot of scandals between the US and China going on. NATO is really getting into working in some powers. I wonder if maybe later on in the article they reference what bomb they're referring to, because they don't give us a name of the event. So, and 92 is kind of auspicious. That is quite. I was alive then. We all three were alive then.
Yeah, that was my younger days. that decade, I have a problem remembering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, if someone in the chat knows, let us know. What bomb are they talking about? So they claimed a giant subterranean pyramid had shown up on the equipment. The agent recalled the news anchor reporting, "In Alaska, a pyramid was found larger than the one in Giza, eclipsing it by almost 70 feet. Its position correlated exactly with the whited-out area on the map," Doug said. The next evening, the agent waited eagerly for a follow-up report that never came. Baffled at the radio silence, Doug headed down to grab a copy of the report at a local station. That station manager allegedly denied that the story was ever put out. Meanwhile, a junior reporter overheard the conversation and anxiously pulled Doug aside. Two guys came in and took the tapes. The counterintelligence officer said, she told him, which to him meant one thing: they were burying the report. A year passed, with the events still whirling around Doug's mind when, in 1993, he made the pilgrimage to Fort Meade in Maryland, the home of an extensive collection of military records. Burying the evidence. The archivist at the facility, I can't tell, let me make that bigger, sorry, noted the case and led him to where the redacted documents were situated. I went into the second drawer, saw the Alaska folder, Doug said. I took it out, didn't know what it was, and didn't know what it contained, but I brought it back and sat it down. Moments later, two conspicuous-looking guys came over and said, "You're not authorized to have that," before grabbing the papers of the cloak and dagger operation. Doug deemed that his journey to the truth had come to an end, all the while his hunch remained. Almost 2 decades later, Doug reached out for help from Emmy Award-winning documentarian and investigative journalist Linda Moulton Howe. She became renowned for her work as a ufologist and advocate of a number of conspiracy theories which swept America. Linda picked up the phone and began calling anybody who might know something about the Giant Pyramid and who could substantiate Doug's wild claims. Hope was beginning to dwindle until she was contacted by an anonymous figure. That's always a red flag if you're trying to look for an operation of somebody like planting a narrative.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big red flag right there.
Yeah, as soon as you said that, I was like, whoa. Hang on.
I get a call from somebody on the East Coast about how there was a huge pyramid underground in Alaska, of such age that no one knows, she said. He named it the Dark Pyramid and said it was made from solid black stone, standing a mammoth 550 feet from base to tip. The man's descriptions finally offered Doug a glimmer of evidence about the elusive pyramid. The end. A hanging thriller and a cliffhanger, we call that.
Yeah. So there's a bit of a conspiracy that there's that there. What else? Anyone else?
I don't know if I would put much stock in that. They didn't drop any real facts in the story, They stuck to like a few of the main lines, and then it's like they kind of built up stuff around it. So I don't know. I've heard some rumor about the Black Pyramid in
Alaska.
Alaska.
It's in the Alaskan Triangle, right? They talk about the Alaskan Triangle, like the Bermuda Triangle. Well, we got one in Australia. They call it the Australian Bermuda Triangle. That's what they call it. And hang on a minute, we've got someone at the door.
Yay.
I need a doorbell, man. Ding dong.
Ding dong. There he is.
Polly. How you going?
I'm calling.
Hi, Polly.
Yo, Polly.
Sorry, I'm late. I just have one question already. What makes a black pyramid black?
That's what sparked me to do this, Polly. My head went straight to pyramid, machine, energy producer. Black pyramid, white pyramid. Is that like in electronics when you got different wires, they're either black or white or red or blue, and one's positive, negative, you got a neutral thing. And I'm thinking, are these pyramids like that? Is that what the black pyramids are? The other wire? And if there's other pyramids, which we're going to get into,
that makes
are
sense.
they other wires? Yeah, that's what I thought. So this is how we come to get here. And I got help, thank you, Greta. And we got help to do it.
If you think about
Go ahead, Polly.
Sorry. Yeah, there's a bit of lag. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
If you think about the whole electric universe concept, and if if that applies here to these pyramids, it would make sense that you would have positive and negatively charged pyramids to make some sort of a circuit, or you can't just have all positive, or else would.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what I thought. Straight away, that's the first thing I thought. I thought, hang on a minute, thinking that way, it just makes sense. And that's why we're looking where they are. Yeah. I'll put that up a bit bigger, that one.
Right.
That's so we got a red pyramid, a white pyramid, and a black pyramid. And what's that other one? I can't. A bent pyramid, is it?
Bent. Yeah, the bent pyramid, it's called.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we're talking about, Polly.
Mm-hmm. Which is so very similar to Karahan Tepe next to Göbekli Tepe. There's this bent place. They call it like the serpent's neck.
Right.
And it's also has some light phenomenon that bends around the, how do you call it, passageway?
Yep. And a lot of cultures refer to energy when they talk about the serpent. Isn't the Egyptian bulb, the filament inside the bulb is represented as a little serpent?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's why I thought that means these different color pyramids must be this like circuitry of the different wires. So
Right.
You know what though? If, let's say, somehow a major city, one that has like skyscrapers and like millions of people, let's say it got frozen in time somehow and not disintegrated, kind of like the pyramids. If someone was to come and look at that, and then look, especially from the top down, it looks like a circuit board where these buildings are just been plugged in.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I was going to say it looks like a computer hard drive almost, because the pyramids being the little nodes and stuff, and exactly like a circuit drive.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's something I haven't discussed with a lot of people, but if you have a look at area shots of the desert and stuff like that in many countries, that's what's imprinted. It's like the circuitry was there and then it was kind of washed away, but you can still see where everything was placed. The only thing is, what was the wires? Like, what did they use to connect all these?
Well, Tesla figured out a way to not need wires.
Yeah, right. Got you. Yeah. They just
And he used the pyramids as inspiration to figure that out, I'm pretty sure. With all the numbers that in the math that's involved in the pyramids, like there's a lot of 3, 6, and 9 that happens everywhere in these things. And he loved that stuff.
For what it's worth, when you look at a map, it looks like a circuit board, but going beyond that, I mean, it's energy. I mean, just individuals, our bodies, we are energy. I mean, simplest terms, I mean, thinking of when you go to jail, you are put in a cell.
Yes.
I mean, everything is energy. And I can elaborate on that, but the thought's got to come back to me. One moment, please.
Just wait for the information to come up. All right, so
that like totally goes along with this book I held up, The Demon in the Ether. It's Dr. Farrell's most recent publication, Angel Demons, Plasmas, Patriarchates, and Pyramids. Oh my goodness, go get it. It's on Amazon. It's a great book, especially relative to this topic. It gives a lot of explanation to pyramids. So I'm going to read out of here really quick. It's called Plasmas, Cosmotheology, Ethers, Pyramids, and Demons in Mexico. Whether or not the tetragrammaton on the entrance of the Great Pyramid has anything to do with Stitchin's demon in the ether, One should remember that an ocean and a continent and half a world away from Giza, there is another culture far removed both spatially and temporally from Egypt and Mesopotamia, whose texts also connect demons with pyramids and with the grisly practice of human sacrifice. So, like, I wonder if that's another thing going on here, because for those who've read this, Dr. Farrell goes into talking about how the pyramids could have been built or with the intent to house what he calls the demon in the ether, being this entity of very fearsome power, and then how plasma works into that. So that we're seeing energy and some type of energy producing devices makes sense in order to not only contain this demon in the ether, but also make sure it's like not released. Right?
Yeah.
What are they doing tampering with this stuff?
Like the
Yeah.
genie in the lamp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
definitely. Whoa.
So I think the Black Pyramids have a lot to do with this. The magnetic resonance, the indications of black usually tying to the 11th and the 13th dimensions. Those are the places where something like the demon in the ether would come from.
So what I was getting at when I asked why there was black, what makes the Black Pyramid black, it wasn't just about the polarities and the opposites. I'm wondering what physical material they have to use that makes it look black, because I can only think of, like, there's not very many rocks that are black comparatively to other shades
True.
of rock. You know what I mean? Like, most rocks are gray or brown or red. There's not
You've
very
got
many black rocks.
We do have a few on Earth, but it sure seems like there's a lot more on the moon of this kind than there is
Well,
here.
that's what I mean. So, like, is it the material itself that makes the pyramid black, or is it something that happened to the material that made
Good
it black?
question.
Yeah, because the black rocks that we have on here, they're rare kind of. So you got Abyssinian hematite, black diamonds, jet, black garnets.
Black pearls.
Yeah,
Gold
yeah, but they're not enough to build something
Heart
like that.
stones.
You know what I mean? Unless in the past there was a lot of it, and we've got the little bits left over from them making these things. Who knows?
It makes sense to me. Maybe they were crystal or some type of a crystal, and then that energy essence turned it black, like what Polly's saying.
Or maybe they overloaded.
Or overloaded the circuit so it burned.
Yeah.
You're right.
I think it's more likely that they're intentionally choosing the color black here, because, like, look at Egyptian lore with the scrying mirror. They use a specific black stone for that. For, like, scrying altars or sacrificial altars, there's a specific kind of black stone, and the Maya did the same thing, as long with the Toltec and some of the others. Later on, their devices being used for sacrificial reasons, but it seems like for the most part they're looking at scrying or looking into other dimensions using these kind of like polished black surface to do it with, and most of the time I think it's obsidian that they're doing that with.
And
Yeah, the
also,
stuff-
black absorbs light instead of reflects it. So maybe there's some kind of a functionality with the
Yeah,
color
yeah.
black.
Like a neutrality type thing of neutralizing everything. Yeah.
Well, when you
Yeah.
put something black outside in the sun, it gets really hot.
Right. But inside it's nice and cool.
It could
Right.
be. If it's
That's why I like
if it's under that amount of earth and stuff, yeah, for sure, it's going to maintain a solid temperature there for no matter what the temperature is outside, but also no matter what color the pyramid.
I just want to quickly show you. I found something on black gemstones that we've got there. I'll just show you. So here's 63 types. So I was just scrolling down, trying to look at them, going, does that look like it? That don't look like it. That don't look like it. There's one
That's
that goes.
Moonstone. That was Moonstone you just passed, isn't it? Oh no, it's not. Maybe it is.
Black
Look,
annotates.
do you remember that thing I sent you, Luna? That's Moonstone. It looks like that almost.
Oh,
that,
yeah, it does, yeah.
that rounded one.
So that wouldn't be. There is one here that's kind of looks, that's too light. Look at this though. See how it fractured here? When we were looking at that pyramid, that one that cracked, it kind of reminded me of that, and it was peeling off. Yeah. So it kind of couldn't be that. Not that. They wouldn't have made out of that. Cat's eye. So we haven't got much. That's too white. Black diamond, because otherwise it would be opaque, and it's not opaque.
Wouldn't that be interesting if there were? I think that's maybe what Atlantis was like black diamond, black crystal.
Crystalline. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Mhm.
And I know that we were looking at in another show, we were looking at the emerald tablets and that, and they showed there was a picture there of a giant piece of emerald. Remember that, Jules? The people were only little, and this giant kind of mountain of emerald, and they actually carved something in it. Obviously, it was the bigger people that did it, right? And we were the little ones looking at it. But that made me realise, oh, back then there were giant pieces of these rocks and crystals, and they used them.
Well, I think it's likely that the black garnet, or the one you were just at, if you scroll back up a little bit, that one, the hemalite, yeah, yeah, because we're looking at an iron oxide crystal, essentially, it says, right? But this one is so much like mercury. It has a lot of, like, you can tell even in its shape that, like,
talking about
it has a movement to it. Hematite is really interestingly, yeah.
That actually moves your blood and cleans your blood. That's what I use that for. It's blood cleaning, and it's great for.
Yeah, because it's reddish. Yeah, it's actually a reddish brown. Most of it.
That's not what the pyramids are made of. That's why I was just thinking, are these black pyramids made of any of these things? Because the white ones we know have limestone and crystalline stuff like that. We kind of know the white ones are made of.
And I was wondering, maybe black jade. Maybe there was a time when they built these pyramids that black jade was much more common. Yeah. And I think it's likely that one of the Maya pyramids in the Yucatan was black. I think the Ekbalam pyramid was black. It makes sense. Yeah. At least some portions of it. And they would have used black jade.
There's another theory that I just made up right now. And it's partly because of the movie Stargate. I don't know if anyone's seen that movie from the early 90s, from the Clinton days, as you would say. Yes. The spaceship uses the pyramid as like a landing pad because the spaceship is shaped like a pyramid too. So what if these different color pyramids are just like parking spaces, like different colored parking spaces for different people to land on? Like you can't land on the black pyramid unless you have a permit for that parking space.
No, I thought it was the flat top pyramids that were actually the landing pads.
Well, what if you can't land there because that's not what planet you originate from?
Right, because maybe that's like their parking signs. They just change the color of the pyramid.
These black crystals, look at that.
Imagine coming back to Earth expecting to find your black pyramid parking space and being like, well, where the hell is it?
Abyssinium, that was the other one I thought it might have been. Was
Obsidian. Yeah. That's the one they do the mirrors and stuff out of.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But all of these materials, has anyone found a deposit of these materials that could be mined in such a quantity that would be able to build a pyramid out of it? Or would they just coat the top of the pyramid of it?
The black opal. Oh my gosh. I'll go up one more. That is my Libra favorite.
In our mob, you don't. Oh. They're the rainbow serpents.
Yes. Screw diamonds. Get me one of those.
Well, they're only found in Australia.
Stay under the earth.
Yeah, Lightning Ridge.
I know, right?
It protects us from many things.
I feel that way strongly about gold. Like I think gold is the lifeblood.
Yeah, it's supposed to stay in the earth. Yeah.
Am I glitching? Because I can't tell from my side. Is it kind of glitchy?
No, you're
Yeah, there's
good.
kind of watery echo sound. A
There's an
little,
echo, right?
yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I wonder why.
You heard the story about when I went to Donny's. I'm running around going, there's this place has a present for me. It could be anything and it could be anywhere. So I had to use my gifts to find it. Finally narrowed it down to one area, and it was in the water. So I had to put my hand in the water, and there was this underwater cave. And I'm thinking, oh, it didn't dawn on me that's a real dangerous thing to do in Australia, but never mind. I trusted what was happening. So I put my hand in there, and I pulled out this rock about that round, and it had gold on it. And I looked at it and I went, that's not the present. And I threw it over my shoulder. And Donnie and the other lady there sitting there going, what are you doing? That was gold. You could have gave it to me. And I'm going, but that wasn't my present. And then I put my hand back in and I pulled out a big pinky white crystal that's shaped like a snake's head. That was the present. So, yeah, but the gold, it's didn't
It's
register.
supposed to stay in the earth. I think it's a lifeblood thing. It's like
You know.
it's not supposed to be walking around in all of our pockets. I know that much.
Well, look at the polish on that. See how it's
Getting
all
blood on. Ooh, that's pretty.
calcite.
Shamanite. I love shamanite. And it's
Yeah.
calcite too, which is that there's that green rock we found in Sonora. That's a form of mica calcite.
Yeah. So it could be in any one of these rocks, or a couple of them that look like it. I didn't realise there were so many black rocks.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll get back to it. The Black Pyramids. We'll go with our next article. What do we got next?
Zircon. Zircon's cool, right?
Yeah. I think there were 63 black rocks. They're not that looks beautiful. I should have put that in my beautiful things.
Mm,
That's
rubies and
okay.
sapphires.
I'll put that to. I lost a page there, Malia. When
Here
I
we go.
shared- I thought I could have shared it over the top.
It's okay. I gotcha.
So there you go. We've just had a look at what kind of black rocks we've got here in our land. Maybe they made a pyramid out of. Maybe they didn't. I have to.
I've
see.
heard Donnie mention the Ben rock before.
Yeah, I've got that actually somewhere. Where is it? I have an article on there. When I find it. Show material. Bin. Where are you? Oh, no. Hang on. I'm all over the place because I was so busy. Bin, where are you? Yeah, I have an article on the bin. I had an article on the bin.
Do you know what museum this is in?
Don't worry. Okay, go, Malia.
Okay. Do I what, Jules? Sorry.
Do we know what museum this is?
It might say so. I've kind of like skimmed through the article, but I haven't read it word for word yet. So
Okay.
We're sharing it together as always. What you see and what we see is all at the same time.
And we're just presenting it. Doesn't necessarily mean that this is what we believe in.
Yeah. We're just sharing the weird, wonderful, strange, beautiful,
Fun,
all
strange
that
stories.
whole category. So
Ken Rotman, you can send that Blackstone opal over to me. I will not complain. Look at you. I'm jealous, at least.
you have to come and
Of
visit
course he
Australia.
does. I'm going to. That is on the list. It will happen one day. I'm coming to Australia. I have to.
And I'll play
We
him.
all have to.
And I'll sing Amazing Grace to him.
As long as it's not when I'm dead, it's fine.
I'm joking. Okay,
Okay,
let's go.
here we go. Bin Bin's Pyramid, the Black Magnetic Pyramid. One of the miracles of the ancient Egyptians, Tutankhamun's meteorite dagger or celestial stone necklace, wasn't the only thing ancient Egyptians made of meteorites. Archaeological astronomy indicates Bin Bin's pyramid has puzzled scientists for thousands of years, and they solved the mystery after they ascended into space several times and after continuous studies. The ancient Egyptian made from meteorites 9 beads from the pre-dynastic era, discovered in 1911 near Al-Wasta, Al-Ayat Center, dates back to about 3300 BC. He also made the pyramid-shaped stone which the ancient Egyptians sanctified in Ain Shams, called Bin Bin's pyramid, which means radiant, shimmering, luminous, and a clear indication of its celestial meteorite origin. It became almost certain that it was also a meteorite, as the archaeologists say. It is the pyramid from which the idea of the pyramids arose later in the ancient Egyptians. The pyramid is made of black stone, but it is not an ordinary stone because all its components do not exist on the face of the earth. The black ironstone is only found in space, in meteorites, and the other puzzle appears here. Because it is a tough ironstone that is difficult to shape and dig, but it is not difficult to break. How was it cut so precisely in the corners and deviations, and how is its face polished with that unique polishing? Here comes the third puzzle at its head, which is how the engraving was done with those special inscriptions on the faces of Bin Bin's pyramid, and scientists found the impossibility of any tool, whether ancient or modern, carving those inscriptions unless using a laser cutting tool. And now we come to the last puzzle, which is that the black iron meteorite stone, thanks to the composition of its components, transmits positive electromagnetic energy in its surroundings that makes everyone who approaches it feel psychologically comfortable. It is very pure, affects a person's energy, and removes the pain he feels in any part of his body. So they find it to be a healing stone. That's interesting. It's got to be in the frequency and vibrations, because it makes me think of the musical tones that they talk about, that the closer you get to the moon, the more you hear this sound that we don't hear here necessarily, unless you're like tuned in, right?
So there's another thing here that we need to consider, and that is that such precise cuts of rock don't necessarily have to be done with laser technology or diamond tip blades, because there's another way to manipulate rock, and that's through exactly what you were just talking about, which is frequency and sound. And so my suggestion is that perhaps they poured the rock by manipulating its state of matter using sound. They liquefy the rock using sound, and they also use sound and magnetics and electricity and to mold it when they pour it. So they don't even have to build like molds. They just use different frequencies to as the mold. They use certain kinds of frequencies for the mold, and then they use other frequencies to liquefy the rock and pour it into that mold. That's how advanced these people were, in my hypothesis. That's what it is. It's a thought experiment.
I reckon you're somewhere along them lines are right, because in our culture we have rocks that give off energy. They actually hum. You can feel the energy coming off them. How they were made, I don't know, but they're real special, and only certain people can have them. And that's why I was so interested in these black pyramids, because I wondered that I knew they give off some sort of energy that have a frequency. You should be able to hear it somehow or feel it. And was it deliberately done that way?
Well, all colors are frequency as well. They're just frequencies of
That's
light,
right.
not sound.
Yeah. And of course, black absorbs energy. So you've got
Right.
one putting energy out and one absorbing it. And then you've got the other colours. Yeah, it is interesting. What do we got there, Malia? What's that?
I just looked up Bin Bin's pyramid, was
Yeah.
showing some what comes up on Google about it. Just a general search, see if I could find some more pictures
More stuff. Yeah.
of the other side.
Yeah, I've only got those slides of the slides that I took, and so you could see it all the way around. And it's cracked. And I was wondering, was the crack of them? Did it crack when they took it off, or did it get knocked off and crack? Because it would have got hit by one of the floods because they had multiples. Interesting.
Mm.
But I
Has
do
anyone
know,
ever heard the urban legend that if you put a dull razor blade inside of a pyramid, like even just a little, like keepsake pyramid you'd have on your desk, and you put a razor blade inside of it, it will sharpen the razor blade?
yes, I have heard that. I've heard a lot of things about sitting inside pyramids. People have little ones in their lounge room, they sit in it to regenerate and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, maybe that's why they made tents in the shape of pyramids.
I was thinking that in the back of my mind. No, it was flashing in me. Hang on a minute,
That's why there's no round tents.
Yeah, teepees around
Square
here.
tents, I should say. There are round tents.
Yeah. All right, beyond the black.
Beyond the Black Pyramid. All right, here we go. A conspiracy theory involving alien weapons, pyramid-induced orgasms, and court-martialed generals
Hold on.
leads to one man's disappearance in Denali National Park. See, the first time I read this, I thought it said court-martialed genitals. I was like, well, that's a way to start an article. Great, just like put it out there. Let's just talk about stone balls now, okay?
Go on. You have my attention.
Here we go.
Okay.
Sometimes it's easy to get lost.
All right,
Oh
seriously.
my god.
Would it be inappropriate to say I just popped a pyramid? It's like pitching a tent, but it's more spiritual.
That's what he said.
My safety yield went up, and I was like, why is he popping a pimple? Why is he calling a pyramid a pimple? I was like, okay, Malia, it's a tent. Stop it. Just stop. Right there, that's too far.
All right, let's go. What will we do in the article?
Out of the gutter. Here we go. It was mid-August, and 48-year-old Aaron Hernandez and his friend decided to spend their weekend hiking the Hermit Trail in Grand Canyon National Park. At first, everything was going as planned. They dropped down well-graded switchbacks, stopping for bits of shade and enjoying the incredible, if hazy, views of the inner canyon. But on their way back up, their weekend fell apart. Maybe it was the blazing summer sun or simple distraction, but the two got separated and wandered off the main trail. Eventually, the friend made his way to the trailhead, but Hernandez was not so lucky. He spent a night wandering the desert wastes, stumbling through fiercely sharp fields of gray limestone and eerily moonlit cactus gardens. Thankfully, the next morning, exhausted but still alive, Hernandez awoke to the sight of a National Park Service helicopter and was airlifted to safety. Every year, the NPS responds to hundreds of cases just like this. A hiker gets lost, is quickly reported, and is found within 24 hours. Case closed. But very rarely, the search comes up empty-handed. A backpacker in Sequoia Kings Canyon takes a detour and never returns. A tourist mysteriously walks away from his car and disappears into the Yosemite wilderness. Despite helicopters, scent dogs, and search teams, sometimes people seem to simply vanish. That's when the Investigative Services Branch, ISB, or FBI of the National Park Service steps in. The special agents of the ISB investigate cold cases, the missing persons, and unsolved crimes that slip through the cracks of normal NPS law enforcement. Though it sounds romantic or like a bad TV show, detectives in flat hats dusting for fingerprints around Old Faithful. It's not an easy job. The abundant wildlife and bad weather of many national parks wreak havoc on physical evidence. Even after a long search, all the ISB may have to go on is a few fragments of a torn tent, some hiker's hazy eyewitness report, or in one of their recent cases, the story of one man's search for a giant alien pyramid buried deep in the Alaskan wilderness. On May 27th, 2020, 41-year-old Nathan Campbell hired a charter plane out of Talkeetna to fly him to a small lake in the northwest corner of Denali National Park. Along with some basic camping gear, Campbell brought a hefty cache of food stored in plastic tubs and a two-way satellite communicator to check in with his wife and kids. He planned to spend the next 4 months alone, smack dab in the center of interior Alaska. Campbell had picked a strange place for a summer vacation. The plane had dropped him on the shores of Carey Lake, a mile-long splat of blue surrounded by hundreds of square miles of uninhabited wilderness. Filled with some of the roughest terrain in Alaska, travel in any direction would require fighting his way through head-high alder thickets and waist-deep beaver ponds. To reach the nearest town, Lake Minchumina, population 13, would require a week of hellish bushwhacking on foot. Can you imagine that? If it was solitude Campbell was looking for, he surely found it. Any comments from we're putting everyone to sleep?
No, I'm here with you. I have.
What a track, eh? Through all that, you got to be dedicated. But that I'm thinking of Australian bush, right?
Right? It was like hellish bushwhacking on foot. Yeah, oh, that is like some deep, rough territory. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what comes to people.
That's Joe's neck of the woods.
Ah, yes.
It's actually 22 miles from Talkeetna.
Yeah, it is too.
Yep.
Is it rough there, Joe? The terrain. I'd be cold. That's it. I'm out. I wouldn't even go. I'd die the first day. The cold.
Yeah.
I'd be going, stop your black pyramid. I'm going home. No, I'm freezing cold.
Right.
Yeah.
So Campbell wasn't there for fun. He was on a mission. On the long flight from Talkeetna to Carey Lake, while the vast green carpet of the boreal forest floated beneath them, the usually shy Campbell told his pilot, Jason Sturgis, how he planned to spend his summer. Campbell had come to Carey Lake to search for something that, until now, only existed in the darkest, least updated corners of the internet: the Black Pyramid, a massive underground structure rumored to be 4 times the size of the famous Cheops in Egypt, and thousands, if not millions, of years old. Conspiracy theorists claim the structure is so powerful, its importance to national security so tantamount, that all traces of the pyramid and the military base believed to protect it have been wiped from satellite imagery. Ooh.
Ooh, that is important then.
Although bush pilots, trappers, and natives have traveled the area around Kerry Lake for generations, a quick search through the Fairbanks Daily News minor archives shows few references to a giant alien pyramid or top secret base in central Alaska. But then again, until Nathan Campbell showed up, no one had been really looking for it. And his reasons for starting his search deep in the Alaskan wilderness, if you follow the nebulous logic of conspiracy theory, makes perfect sense. First, the Black Pyramid fits neatly into the pantheon of paranoid-inducing military installations in Alaska. The most infamous of these is the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, or HARP, located just outside of Fairbanks. Depending on who you ask, HARP is a high-frequency transmitter used to remotely set off earthquakes to topple Venezuelan dictators, control the world's climate, and undermine the fossil fuel industry, or help scientists study the ionosphere. Take your pick. Yes,
Okay.
it is very thickly forested,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I figured it was because when I thought about it straight, that's what I said. I wondered if it was anything like here, minus the cold, it'd be just hard as it is, but plus the cold. Mm-hmm. Maybe
Yep.
it was cold. Well, obviously it wasn't cold back then, maybe because we know everything changed. Maybe it might have been different.
Yeah.
We're coming up to the hour where we need a little break, so us host speakers can go empty our bladder.
Should I go a couple minutes or you want to take a break now? What do you think?
Finish what you're doing, and then we'll take a break and come back
Okay.
because we've got more stuff.
Okay. Second, the supposed location of the Black Pyramid has long been recognized as an area of geostrategic importance. In the 1930s, General Billy Mitchell, the so-called father of the U.S. Air Force, saw that Lake Minchumina, about 40 miles north of where Campbell landed at Kerry Lake, was equidistant to the major urban industrial chambers of the Northern Hemisphere. That meant, with the same tank of fuel, a B-52 taking off from the shores of Lake Minchumina could strike Tokyo, Beijing, Moscow, Paris, or even New York. In modern warfare, General Mitchell had shown that the middle of nowhere could become the center of everything. Then, in the early 90s, came the real evidence for the Black Pyramid. Scientists studying shockwaves from a 92 Chinese underground nuclear test recorded a grainy pyramid-shaped spot of interference 700 degrees below the surface of interior Alaska. Age, origin, and function unknown. Pyramids have a special allure in conspiracy theory and the New Age. According to internet gurus, the unique shape of a pyramid resonates energy, that even in a palm-sized object made of base quartz can tenderize meat, improve your sex life, eliminate foul odors from your bathroom. If not sure why those all go together, but okay.
That's a weird one. Especially the last one. Hang on a minute, I've
That
been
makes
using
a sentence. If the results
Is that a pyramid in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
if the if the results of the nuclear test were true, and there was a giant pyramid beneath the center of Alaska, then its powers would undoubtedly be immense, capable of emitting energy waves that could make an outhouse in Fairbanks smell like springtime or produce mind-blowing orgasms 1,000 miles away on the outskirts of Dawson City, as long as you and your partner are tuned to the pyramid's frequency, of course.
Mm.
So
Mm.
one thing I want to suggest here is that okay, they got this reading from an explosion, some kind of like sonar type thing that works underground, and they picked up this shape, right? But this shape actually happens quite naturally in naturally formed crystals, and they could have just been picking up the tip of something that's just so gigantic
Yeah.
that we it would going penetrating deeper into the Earth's crust to measure what is below that isn't possible yet, I think. And so it
That's
could be that because like if you look at a lot of crystals, that like the tops of them, when you get that termination, that's what I think they call it that, the termination points. A lot of them are shaped like pyramids, just naturally.
hang on.
So what if it's just a giant one of those buried under the ground? Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
possible.
And you know what, Polly? That's a point because I know that there's giant crystals beneath the ground, right?
So do I.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe that's what the center of the earth is
Yeah.
crystal.
Crystalline, yeah. And for it to be popping out, like the top would be popping out, you would think, yeah, that is a plausible, totally plausible. Yeah. I
Yeah,
understand.
just thinking out of the box
Yeah.
and into the pyramid.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, live out of the box. I live out of the box. I don't belong nowhere near the box, and when I jump in the box, everyone looks at me funny.
What are you doing in this box?
Yeah. I don't belong here. Just lonely on the outside of the box.
Get your own box.
You get your own box. All right, we'll get a pyramid instead.
I think I want my box to be pine or spruce.
And you don't want amazing.
I like fur. Fur. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I'm gonna just keep my mouth shut.
No. You're funny. All right.
Okay. The Black Pyramid got more traction after a hot tip from an anonymous retired naval captain on the legendary conspiracy theory radio program, Coast to Coast. Throughout the 80s, the captain worked on top secret radar installations in Alaska. For years, he noticed that a mysterious, massively powerful source of electromagnetism near Lake Minchumina was disrupting his base's aircraft and communications. Now, after seeing the results of the Chinese tests, the captain realized the source of the disturbances: a massive underground pyramid-shaped structure in the heart of Alaska that was not shown on any map or satellite imagery. Not surprisingly, when the captain brought these facts to his superiors, they threatened him with a court-martial. Now we know why. Maybe. Imagine a weapon powerful enough to disrupt global communications, perfectly positioned to strike any major power in the Northern Hemisphere. Building standard military base infrastructure roads, LZs, Buffalo Wild Wings, would only draw unnecessary attention to it. In order to maintain its perfect secrecy, wouldn't it be better to hide it in one of the most remote, inhospitable corners of the country, so that only the true believers skilled in wilderness survival and prepared to brave hordes of mosquitoes and week-long storms and wolves and bears and all kinds of other death-inducing things. Cold. Listen, Luna.
Snow.
Yeah. With the captain's report, everything came together: secret bases, government cover-ups, global warfare, ancient aliens, pyramid power to create the story of the Black Pyramid. The story that Campbell, if he followed any of the internet lore, surely planned his summer vacation around. No one knows for certain if Campbell believed any of this. He may have spent a month poking around every clump of dwarf birch, looking for a secret door to the command center, or like a bad deer hunter trying to escape his nagging wife, Campbell's quest could have been an excuse for some alone time in the wilderness. No. to tramp around in the woods on a mission that really didn't need a resolution. Regardless, somewhere out there he got himself into trouble. Travel in any direction from Kerry Lake would have been slow, difficult, and dangerous. Did Campbell surprise a bear, fall into a beaver pond, or get caught in a freak snowstorm? No one knows. All the NPS has to go on are scattered testimonies and fragments of evidence. Before the plane left, Campbell gave his charter pilot Jason Sturgis instructions to pick him up at Kerry Lake in mid-September, right before the onset of the Alaskan winter. After that, Sturgis hopped in his plane and flew back to Talkeetna. That was the last time anyone saw Campbell alive. Sometimes in Sometime in mid-June, let's see, what year was that?
2020. That
Oh,
was like I was just sitting here thinking that's the perfect. We have COVID going around, and whoever wrote this,
a
I
lot
mean,
of
they could
people were
like,
doing that.
yeah. I mean, your job shut down. You've got nothing else to do.
Yeah. Sometime in mid-June, Campbell's satellite tech stopped. His wife contacted Sturgis, who told her to call a company flying helicopters to check the site of Campbell's last transmission. The results of her calls, or if she tried a search, are unknown. It wasn't until Campbell missed September 15th, his pickup date, that the NPS sent a search team to Kerry Lake. After a few days beating through the brush, rangers found some of Campbell's gear: cracked food bins, moldy clothes, a battered tent, but no signs of the Wasia native. The only clues were the rodent-chewed remnants of his diary buried in his tent. The last entry, dated sometime in late June, simply stated, "Went to get water." Oh, that's creepy. Then he
Mm,
simply disappeared, right?
mm, yeah. That's typical of all disappearances.
So the NPS flew over the area for several days, but eventually had to abandon the search. Campbell, if he was still alive, was hopefully prepared. The icy winds and sub-zero temperatures of winter could come at any moment. Soon snow would cover the landscape and make foot travel virtually impossible. To survive, Campbell would have to hunker down, but a few tubs of ramen and a Walmart tent are not going to cut it. So, okay, like going into extreme deep Alaskan wilderness, you're not going to do that with a Walmart tent and a
No,
few tubs of ramen. Like, unless this writer is just kind of pulling that out of his ass, he doesn't know that for sure. But definitely making it feel like, hmm,
I agree.
wait a
Well,
minute. Did he really think this through? Did he plan it before he did it?
if he's pulling this out of his ass, I think he should put it back in.
Yeah, because it's really getting deep in the
Yeah,
manure.
yeah.
You better
Yeah.
put your waders on.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
waders
curious.
for me.
I'm curious, Joe, did you ever hear anything about this guy being in the area in the zone? If you're still with us, I'm curious because, like, this could be a complete grift, made up story. This guy, I don't know. You know, I didn't do my background research on it.
No, I don't.
It's
I haven't got
interesting.
time.
It sounds like it'd be too difficult to go out there and find out for yourself.
I do
Well,
know that people come to Australia, and some people don't think, and they go out like to the up the mountains or out in the desert, and they don't have the right gear. Like they might go up in the mountains with a Walmart tent, right? But here in the winter, the mountains are freezing cold. You'll die of cold if you don't know how to survive. You go into the desert, you're not going to last 2 days.
right.
If you, yeah, so some people do that. Some people don't think, oh, hang on, what terrain am I going to? What am I
Especially
doing?
around COVID time, we had a lot. Our cases in Glacier National Park doubled that year of deaths. People going out into the park and just not being prepared for what they were. And they were going out there with Walmart tents and a couple cups of ramen, maybe some, like, yeah. See, Joe didn't hear
Do this, yeah.
about it, so.
Even if a
But
lot.
I mean, that totally happened a lot
Yeah.
in Glacier. But to go all the way out to the middle of Alaska, and what I'm curious too is where's the piece of evidence, the fact part that makes the writer to believe that Campbell was looking for the Black Pyramid?
That's what I thought. You should have had some obsession.
Was it
with-
his life, his social media? Was it,
There would have been something where and it would have been in because you don't do something like that off a whim.
Well,
You've
here's
got
another
something
thing too.
for it.
If you're gonna go out into a forested area to look for a pyramid, you would at least bring a drone, right?
Yeah,
Just send your drone up,
Yeah, it's
and if you can't see
2020.
anything, walk for another 3 hours, and then send
It's
your drone up again.
2020. Yeah, he was able to get a satellite communications going on, right? To check
true.
in.
So,
So a drone in 2020, still, it wasn't that expensive to get a drone.
Yeah, it's $100. I mean, like he probably got someone to pay for it, even.
Hmm.
and I
But
don't know about you fellas. Do you know the rule when you go you shouldn't go camping and that by yourself, right? But if you do, you got to tell people where you are and where you're going, just in case.
Mhm.
Isn't that
Yeah.
standard common sense?
it's common
Well,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not law, unfortunately, but it's common sense.
Yeah. Depends how much you value your life, I suppose. I don't know.
Or
But,
your loved ones.
yeah, true. So, where are we? We're at the hour. Let's have a look at some beautiful things, and then we'll just disappear for a minute so we can sort ourselves out, and we'll come back. And we'll come back. Have we got any more on Black Pyramids, Malia?
I've got a Wikipedia page on the Black Pyramid Rock. And then we also have this one on the Black Pyramid of Kalgarond.
That one. Okay.
And then we have the extra one on
'Cause we
two
don't have-
ufology reports by Theodore Cullen, the Black Knight satellite of ancient alien origin, or the infamous deadly Alaska Triangle and the mysterious Black Pyramid.
Oh, that one. That's the one you put. How about we won't do the one in Australia is actually Tasmania, near down there. Don't worry about that. We'll go with the last one you said.
The Kalgarond? Oh, okay. So not the Kalgarond, but
No, the one you
the
provided. Yeah,
Cullen paper. Okay.
the one you provided. Yeah, we'll go with that. So,
Okay.
all
Sounds
right.
Nothing on BPM.
Wait. What
Black
does that
Pyramids
stand
matter.
for?
It's also beats per minute. I couldn't resist. Sorry.
I was like, wait, I know what that one stands for, but I need context.
Uh,
Couldn't help it.
That's
all
pretty.
right. It is,
That
isn't
is
it?
so beautiful. And
I
it's
know.
balanced, right? They didn't glue it together, right? That is
Set it-
balanced.
Yeah, they've set it all together.
I would glue it.
Speaking of, we should put our word up, Luna, because this is a good
Yeah,
representation of that word,
totally represents that word.
right?
Oh yeah, word of the week. Hang on, where am I?
Is it egg?
No.
Nice.
Our word, we have a new segment.
Well, it's getting close to Easter. I don't know.
The word of the week is balance.
Her
And isn't
bottom
that-
stone is
Yeah.
so pretty. It reminds me of a stone I have on my altar. One just like it, like that red sandstone shape and everything. It's pretty. I might grab it on our break.
Yeah. No, then
I want to get my black one too, so I'll grab the red one and the black one. Cool.
Oh yeah, I can't resist the Polly. I've got to keep putting them up.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Got to keep putting them up. I can't see it.
Wow, it's the lotus.
Wow.
That one, yeah, they're just so beautiful. And there's a fishy fish. I found that.
I love that. That's a pretty fun idea to do with the little stones. I'm always looking for new
Yeah,
ideas.
yeah, make pictures, hey.
Hmm.
At someone's garden, this fella, I don't know his name, he's got some foreign name, but the whole garden is beautiful and amazing. Amazing like that.
My cat would never let me do that to it.
Trim her whiskers.
I
Yeah.
wonder what you use for whiskers.
Oh. Okay, be right back. My teapot is gonna
Yeah.
whistle.
Yeah, we're going for a
I'm
break.
glitching out. I'm gonna probably have to go off camera.
Yeah, here, there, I'll help you out. I'll help you out. We're going for a break in a second because I need to grab some fluids and empty fluids. I love stained glass. Imagine being in that room. It's so beautiful. Imagine doing Gday Saturday from a room like that.
I would do it.
Beautiful chairs.
Marvelous miniatures.
Yeah. The beauty there. We've got to bring this beauty back, people. We've got to stop skimming over and spend a couple of extra seconds putting those finer touches of beauty into
That's
things.
because everything's. It's because nothing is handmade anymore.
True. Yeah. True that.
I mean, look how much art and look how much beauty something made by hand brings to the
I
picture
agree.
compared to something that's just stamped out and like cookie molded or cookie cuttered into just junk.
Hey, and I had to throw that in to I'm going to find the whole family of the draw people, I tell you.
That big drawer looks exhausted.
He does, because he took the kids to the park.
Yeah.
Ah, that's funny. All right, then we're going to go for a little 2-minute break, and we'll back in a second, people. I'll just leave you with my back in 2-minute sign, if I can find it. And yeah, go and grab another cuppa and
On it.
and do what you need to do. We'll be right back in a minute, people. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Hang on, how do I do this? I'm back. Can I get that up? And I put me. Oh dear. What? I'm here. I'm back, people. I have something to bring us back with. I'm just going to share it with you. What do we got here? Share screen. This is interesting. Here we go. I can't make it bigger.
Person thought that the thing on the building was a dog, but in reality,
Aqui no telhado?
it was a cat.
Ih, gente, é um gato!
This person thought that the thing on the building was a dog, but in reality,
Aqui no telhado?
it was a cat.
Ih, gente, é um gato!
This person
Is that funny or what, eh? That's funny.
That was funny.
Yeah, I thought it was. We'll just wait for everyone to get back, wait for you to get back and finish what you're doing. And I hope you jumped up and grabbed a cuppa or something for the next hour, because we leave the best till last here. The best is always at the end. I do have one more funny thing that Jules dropped in. I thought it was so cute. You might as well do that. Here we are. That was fun. Oh, what in the world is that? All right, hang on. We'll check it out while we're waiting. Oh, what am I doing? My hands aren't working right here. My poor hand that I broke worked so hard in the last couple of weeks. It doesn't want to work anymore. Here we go. I found it.
This is an extremely rare thing. This is a marmot, and he's perfectly relaxed and comfortable around a human. So relaxed that he will let a person pet his cute head and give him a bath.
Oh,
Marmots are wild animals and very difficult to tame like this. He just stands there and gets his tummy washed. He doesn't even move when he gets rinsed. He kinda has a dad bod. I love marmots. What in the world?
all right. That's what, I'll play it again for you. That's what our koalas sound like. So if you're camping in the bush in the middle of the night, along with all the other sounds that sound like demons coming out of the ground, you'll hear that.
I never knew what a koala sounded like.
That's not the only sound they make. Have you ever seen them fight?
Oh, yeah, they got really sharp claws now and they bite.
If they make that sound and you're that close, you should probably step away.
Let's have another listen, eh?
Sounds like a donkey with a cold.
Oh, that's funny. All right.
Maybe that's why their noses are shaped like that.
Yeah, I just thought that was in. That's what I was supposed to chuck in last week's show, but I couldn't find it, and then I left it in the other file, so I brought it back. So, what else have we got for you? I know we're going to get back into the Black Pyramid, and then we've got some Devil's Marbles to look at. I don't think I have any more funny things. No, I had something real serious, but I'm going to put it at the end because they're going to kick me off for it. But I want you to keep watching, and I'll play some music.
There won't be any jokes about the devil's marbles, surely.
I hope not. I tried to skip past that real fast, did you notice, and go straight to what I was going to show you next. I get real shy. No, all right. So that we haven't got a lot for you because, like I said, all of us have been flat out this week and really busy, and we've had a difficult week to muddle through. So we just threw this together. And yeah. So
It's the Ides.
it's
The last of the Ides.
It's the Ides. It definitely is definitely is. I'll put that back up. Oh, don't forget this week's word is balance. So each week I'm going to present a word. Some we can discuss because they're quite interesting, and others, like balance, just say what they are. But and all things must be in balance. And I've said it 100 times, and people will go, "What's going on in the world?" And I go, "Don't worry, everything's out of balance." Yeah, they agree that. Well, one of the laws are all things must be in balance. So it goes out of balance, and then it will come back. So I don't know.
And what's your balance?
It's the odds. Well, everyone's got.
The balance is knowing as you walk, there's a red side and a blue side. You just keep walking your path in the middle and don't worry about everything else.
Well, I sometimes like to know my balance.
Well, it depends what you're doing. If you're walking on a brick wall or something, you want to have your balance with you.
You won't
Or-
find me in a tightrope to worry about balance.
Your balance can also be what is commonly referred to as the amount of money you have.
Oh yeah, I never thought of that because I don't think like that. Money's not my god.
So,
all right.
yeah, what's your balance?
What floats your boat? What's your
That's
balance?
exactly what, yeah.
Yeah. Or as my brother Donnie would say, whatever blows your hair back. What's your balance? All right then, we're all back now.
Yep.
As earlier, we're looking at the Black Pyramids, and they're all over the world. That one, like I said, that's in Tasmania. Doesn't say a lot about it. No one wants to know because it's in Tasmania.
Looks like a giant tadpole.
Yeah, that's the one in.
And the Amina Metch.
Yeah, that's that one. We're going to look at that. They're the underwater ones, which I looked at for some information on that, but that's we could do a whole nother show on what's under the water, which we might do. Another underwater one, because when I saw them, I'm like, oh. And we were discussing that one before the break. And here's a couple of closer up pictures of it. And it's not the only one. It's not the only one. Check it out. That's how it broke. Oh, we should have had a better look on what.
There's the other sides. That's what I was looking for. See if we
Yeah.
could see the other sides of it.
And what it's made of. Like, it's pretty dull at the moment. It's carved.
Well, they say it's made of meteorite.
Oh, that's right, from the sky. Yeah.
Meteorite, yeah.
That could have been anything. That, like, if you think about it, we need to have a deep discussion about what comes from the sky and the different angles and views of the worlds up there. Because I got some
It's just fascinating how it reflects light too. That photograph kind of reveals it.
Yeah. Photography doesn't always do it justice unless you're a good photographer like our mate Polly here. All right, so when I found there were two of them, obviously there's more than one, right? Obviously. There could be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them for all we know.
Yep,
So-
on the show we did if you go over to Crypto Alchemist channel, right as Walter and I were leaving, a guy named Mike comes on and he's showing these artifacts that are just, oh my gosh, I bet I could show a little bit of it. He won't mind
yeah,
as long as I
good.
don't put sound on it.
No, that's all right. I saw a snippet.
Okay.
Like, I saw that, and I haven't got back to see the rest of the show. But the little snippet of the artifacts, I was so interested in seeing them because I did a show way back about artifacts, and we were wondering whether they were real or not. And I'm following the site that are finding these artifacts, and they keep pumping them out. And yes, I'm quite interested, Malia. Please let us have a look.
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull it up and then I'll share it here because that was just so neat. And I know Crypto won't mind. It's published on our channel, Walter Bosley. Anyways, so
Check it out because I've been following this, and I wanted to do another show on the new stuff they found, but I didn't know if people were interested.
I thought of something that it's sort of a little bit sidestepping this topic, but it's not a pyramid, it's a cube, and it's black.
Ooh, isn't that
and
the
people
Mika?
walk around it.
The Mika.
like-
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, I know that.
I've heard that the black cube is a portal.
And also in the movie 2001, there's the black rectangle. the obelisk. It's black.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's jet black.
Yeah, let's check this out. Oh, look at that. Hang on. Are they the artifacts what we showed? You remember that show, Jules? And I don't know if you were with us, Polly. I showed about what they reckon they were digging up, because he has one of them.
Check this one out. This one is like
so
Is that
that's
jade?
super
from
cool.
the Olmec, like a jaguar from the Olmec.
Yeah. Is it jade, or is that green the colour?
That's jade. Yeah, the green is jade, and the red stone is super symbolic in Maya and Olmec and Toltec. It's part of what they call the red path. So
That stuff
yeah,
there, yeah. See that dude there? That's the artifacts that I showed. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And that stuff in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a little show on those.
yeah, and the pyramid.
Yeah.
Wow.
The pyramid. Yeah.
Wow.
So he just goes through and shows this stuff for the rest of the show, and let me see if I can find it. There's a point where he shows. Oh, there's the mirror that we were talking about. The mirrors,
Oh, yeah, look.
the
Is that
sky mirror,
stone?
and a stargate.
Yeah, is that black stone in the middle of that one?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the obsidian.
For scrying?
hmm
That's the kind of stone that Aleister Crowley used.
Oh, hang on. I
No,
recognize
I'm sorry, not Aleister Crowley, John Dee. Because John Dee's scrying mirror is in a museum in London, and that's what John Dee's scrying mirror looked like.
I recognise that. That's what it looks like when you turn your computer off.
Yeah.
Yeah, think about that. Oh, yeah. So, and where does he get all this stuff from?
He's just like Hans Dietrich here in the show as well. They both traveled all over the place looking specifically for like alien type artifacts.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But he has that website there, and he's having everything tested. He's putting it through a lot of like carbon testing and stuff. He talks about it here in the show at the end. Yeah,
Oh,
I think
check
like
that out. After the show, Melita, I'll show you the site that I did the show on, the Stargate. Yeah, look at that knife. Crystal. Wow.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and look at that. I meant to yesterday. I just got, I was just so busy.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see if it was the same
Oh,
kind of
this piece. Oh, wait, no, not that one.
Because when I showed the stuff, the question was, are people making this and making them look old? Or are they rigid edge and genuine?
I imagine some of the stuff that he has is maybe stuff that people has made.
Have made.
Do
Right.
aliens even have art?
Did what?
Do aliens even have art?
Yeah,
Would they need art?
Depends if they got creative in their nature, creativity in their nature. But maybe they're just general things are artistic, like, their written language is artistic. Maybe they're things they use, because we used to decorate everything. So their version might be the mouse that we have for our keyboard, and that is highly decorated instead of just the plain boring mouse what we have. We don't know. We don't know these things. We're going to find them out, but people in the future, aren't we? So very interesting. I could probably, I think I had slides somewhere. I've got all these slideshows on some of those artifacts. All right, so what have we got next? And guess what? There's someone at the door. Hang on, I can hear the doorbell. Ding dong. I've got to get a doorbell, brothers and sisters. I need to get a doorbell.
Yes.
Hey, we got Brother Lot.
Hey.
Hey, Rudy.
Hey, g'day, guys.
Mr. Rutland.
There you
Yeah,
go.
man.
Good to see you all.
Yeah.
I thought I'd show you some rocks soon, since we're on the rock and roll subject.
Oh, you got some rocks for us. All right then, while we're at it.
I used to collect a lot, but I lost a lot over the years, you know, when you move around.
Before we finish because Malia's got a good article.
Oh, yep.
So we're
I've
gonna
got this black one.
hang on.
Hey Luna, can you make Ken a Nephilim?
Yeah, I am.
Sure
That's
what-
exactly what I was doing for sister.
What would you call that one, I wonder? It's just very...
That looks like one of them that we looked at in our list earlier, right, Luna?
Yeah, it does. Looks like one we looked at earlier. I don't know which one, but I'd have to pull it up.
It looks like a black opal.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah,
Pretty.
it does. Yeah, it could be. I bought a few rocks one. You know, I can't-
According to that article, they're only only found in Australia. So if it
Yeah.
is, you got a rare rock.
That's
Oh,
a
wow.
purple amethyst.
Yeah, that's what I
Very
thought. Yeah,
pretty.
amethyst. This is like a bloodstone. I found
Oh,
it.
that's huge.
Yeah,
Wow.
I found it next to where me dogs were shot, you know, and there was blood on the stone. Anyway, a lot of significance, that one. What else have I got? I got this one. It's actually got bugs in it from how many thousands or so.
Wow,
Wow, that's awesome.
one.
Yeah,
Check it out.
crystal. I'm not sure what sort of crystal it is, but might be what do you call it? Agate? No, this is agate, I think. There, it's sort of a pinky type one. And then I got another amethysty thing.
That's a nice one,
Yeah. And this one was one stone, and then I dropped it one day and it fell into two pieces.
yeah. Well, look how sharp it fell.
Yeah. And ex-girlfriend's got the other half, so
See how it fell pointy?
well, mate.
We were talking about the crystals in the ground, how they're naturally pointy. When that was dropped, it split pointy.
Yeah. In a perfect, you know, that
A
perfect
V.
Wow.
shape.
Yeah.
That was pretty amazing. And I've got a dragon's tooth, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It looks like it's all right. It's pretty
Doesn't
tough.
like you at the moment.
And I got this, another, you know,
Yeah, they're
that'd be
nice.
good to hang around your neck, you know, that one.
Hmm?
That'd be good to hang around your neck if you had a,
Give you clarity.
and I've got the, you know, emerald. Got some
Oh, the
emerald.
jade.
And I'm not sure what that is. It's very sort of almost a blood colour, but and there's that. I used to collect gemstones when I was younger, and I was right in. I knew every name once. These days, there's another one, and yeah, I mainly wanted to show off that one.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, that one's awesome.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
That'd be good to, you know, skim across the water, you know. Be a waste to lose it though, but and just an ordinary sandstone. You know, there. And
Yes.
another bit of emerald and that one. And I don't even know what that is. I don't even think that's a
It's
stone.
like
I just
hematite. No, what is it? Is it clear or?
yeah, you can see through it all more or less, yeah.
Is it plastic? It's not plastic or glass.
I think it is. You know,
Oh, yeah, just looks
feels
pretty.
different than the others, feels lighter. So I should throw that out. I think it's a fake one I've accidentally picked up or something. But it looks pretty cool in the light. You can't quite get it, but yeah, there you go. All new stones. I've got to get some more. Yeah.
Thanks for that, Ken. All right. Well, as we was talking about earlier, the Black Pyramid, we got the last one
Yeah.
left.
Interesting.
That's really interesting. Are you ready? Oh, Malia's got a. Hang on, I'll put you up. Oh, hang on. Oh, wrong one. Let's have a look at that first.
Yeah. But,
What is that, Malia?
oh, that's a nice colour. Very earthy colour.
Wow.
Yeah. Almost orange. Oh, you're muted, Malaya.
We can't hear you, Malia.
Oh, there we go. So they would make like paint out of that. See how it goes on my fingers? Just
Oh, it's like
touching it.
ochre. It's like ochre.
Yeah, it just comes right off.
Oh, cool.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Do some
Wow.
nice.
it's really, really pretty. I have it in this color, and then I have a yellow one, which yellow is super rare.
Oh,
A
nice.
green one and a white one. And then this one, remember I said, oh, that looks just like my fun little rock that balances
Oh, yeah,
everything.
look, it does. It looks
Yeah.
like someone put it like that and it fused together.
Yeah. It just, this is how what the river does up there. The rivers do this to the rocks.
I was going to say, is that from the water? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a really soft, like sandstone. A
Yeah,
little bit
right.
harder than regular sandstone, but
All petrified-ish.
oh, fun.
Nice.
Those are a couple. And then there's this one. I always pulled this one because we were reading cards.
Oh,
I
please.
love
That's
that chart.
wow. Yeah, that's beautiful.
What's that one? Is that an amethyst?
No, it's a crystal, a type of crystal. I forget what it's called. Rocks are like flowers to me. I never remember the names. Pretty blue rock.
I'm
My pretty blue rock that goes with the cards. It contains the memory of the entire earth, I believe. Something like
Yeah.
that in it.
That's
Yeah.
what rocks do that.
I'd have to actually go out to my storage shed and get the rock that I'm thinking of, but it came from Jerusalem. I moved in, and my grandmother had a rock collection, and she took a pencil on every rock. She wrote Jerusalem, 92 Jerusalem, blah blah blah.
Wow.
Oh, neat.
Wow.
The Holy Land. Wow.
And it's like you're not supposed to like take stuff out of countries, let alone how this was before TSA and everything. When I'm always the one who gets their bag checked.
Cool. All right. So what do we got? What do we got, Malia? You ready to pound out that next?
Yeah.
Next.
Sure. This one will be a little different to read, but we'll get through it. It's kind of a different way to see. I'm on academia, so peers. It's for peer research material, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not quite sure exactly what the requirements to publish on academia are, but I don't think they're like super strict because I have seen some materials like kind of questionable come through here before. So, but I don't know. I'm not trying to set this one up. I haven't really read through this article. I just noticed it's a little different than regular articles. You'll see what I mean. So, I guess that's the author. We're looking at written by Theodore Cologne, March 8th, 2023. 2 ufology reports, number 1 being the Black Knight satellite of ancient alien origin, or number 2, the infamous deadly Alaska Triangle and the mysterious ancient Black Pyramid. Introduction. This paper contains 2 ufology reports. Both reports are written by Theodore Cullen, and both reports are published in the website operationdisclosure.com. They are both published as promoted content by Tara Zetz. The 2 reports are Report 1, Black Knight Satellite of Ancient Alien Origin, or by author-researcher Theodore Cullen, published on Wednesday, March 1st, 2023. Pages 1 to 7 of this paper. And Report 2, the infamous deadly Alaska Triangle and the mysterious ancient Black Pyramid. Okay, so the Black Knight Satellite, this, it's kind of hard to see. It looks like some type of flyer, right? As is famous with UFO stuff, there's a lot of fuzzy pictures.
Yeah, they've been talking about that for a few years, have they? The black.
Yeah.
No, they haven't. You know, when I first actually, I had this thing epiphany, and I was looking at stuff, and I went, something just told me that in the sky is something that when humans reach a certain level of civilization, it knocks it out. And I thought, that's ridiculous. Why did I think of that? And then time went by, and the black satellite thing come out, but there's not enough information out on it. And like is it still there? What the, you know? Is it what I initially got the message of, that it's up there, so when humans misbehave? And do we have a modern version of it?
It could be just, starships, like light ships. But this one's black, so it's not a light ship. I'm not sure about it. Like, who took all them photos? I'd like to see some amateur photographer.
All I have is this website they mention. I would say maybe operationdisclosure.com might have some more
info on it.
Info on it, but let's see. The Black Knight Satellite space debris, or a 13,000-year-old satellite. The Black Knight Satellite of Ancient Alien Origin, or space debris, or a 13,000-year-old satellite. A mysterious object dubbed the Black Knight orbits the Earth, puzzling scientists of the past and present. So could this peculiar object really have come from ancient aliens, or is it just an innocuous piece of space debris? There is a theory that it is a mind control device whose purpose is to prevent us from exiting the third density, thus keeping us forever locked into slavery and indebted servitude. That's not very nice.
That reminds me of the top hats. I showed a channel, Unveiled Minds, and they were talking about top hats, how they were made with mercury, and they reckon people were more susceptible wearing these top hats. They were more under more control, like a mind control sort of thing. Yeah, which is similar to what you're saying here. Except it's a satellite. Yeah. But how would they know it was 13,000 years? Like they?
What if the black satellite is something to do with the black pyramids?
I was thinking the same thing. I wonder if we research and go through Duncan Lunan's stuff, if we'll get any kind of correlation with that. Because wasn't he the one who years ago brought forth the notion of the Black Knight satellite?
It would just be interesting to know, like, what the orbit is, if there's any correlation to the geographic location of the Black Pyramids themselves, if there's like any sort of coincidence, because I don't like the word coincidence.
I'm curious about it, because the Black Knight satellite, I remember it coming out a little bit. Seems like a year ago people started kind of talking about it, but it seems like a recycled thing from like 2017 or something. But I'm not sure. I don't know. There's so much misinformation out there. We have to be careful. Take things with a grain of salt, because I'm always looking for, okay, where is that grain of salt? Where is that proof? Are we just going on hearsay? Where's the evidence? So Yeah,
Yeah, right.
there's some
What else
interesting.
did it say? What do you,
Okay, I want to read though. So, influential people and highly respected authors, movie producers, and directors and members of secret societies have claimed to receive communications from alien beings, including signals from the Black Knight. Gene Roddenberry, the creator of the Star Trek television series and movies, is almost a household name. In 1973 to 74, he was reportedly associated with a secret society called the Council of Nine. The Nine, in brief, were a group of prominent people who believed that the channeled messages received by their leaders were actually messages sent by extraterrestrials. Roddenberry allegedly based his Trek episodes on what he learned from the Nine, including the giveaway title he chose for a post Star Trek series called Deep Space Nine. Many believe the source of the channeled messages was the Black Knight. Author Philip K. Dick claimed to have communications with alien beings. The way he described his first encounter with the being in February of 74 is consistent with some of the captured coded messages from the Black Knight. Dick's Valis trilogy was, according to those who knew him or researched him, really a fictionalized autobiography and not science fiction. It pulled from his communications with an alien entity, which were likely from the Black Knight, a little fishy told me. The Deep State's cover story. As usual, their story has more holes in it than a fishnet. Also, the NASA image shows a distorted, grainy, morphed view, probably aid in their generic cover story. Question mark. Black Knight Satellite Conspiracy Theory. The Black Knight Satellite Conspiracy Theory claims that a spacecraft of extraterrestrial origin is in near polar orbit of the Earth, and that NASA is covering up its existence and origin. This conspiracy theory combines several unrelated stories into one narrative. A photo taken during the STS-88 mission, claimed by some to show the Black Knight satellite, is cataloged by NASA as a photo of space debris, and space journalist James Oberg considered it as probable debris of a thermal blanket, confirmed as lost during the mission. Wikipedia. But for a devoted following, it's a 13,000-year-old artificially made satellite known as the Black Knight satellite. The facts surrounding the Black Knight are cobbled together from a number of tales. It begins with Nikola Tesla, who said that he had received radio signals from the space during his 1899 radio experiments in Colorado Springs. Martians, he believed, were attempting to communicate with humans through numbers, since they're a universal language. Unexplainable facts relating to Dark Knight. Some people believe all of these events can be explained by a non-organic, non-human-made object called the Black Knight satellite that is believed to have been orbiting Earth for 13,000 years. In 1954, a Marine Corps naval aviator, writer, and UFO researcher named Donald Keyhoe said that the U.S. Air Force had detected two satellites orbiting Earth. This was 3 years prior to the first human-made satellite, Sputnik, being launched. In 1960, Time reported that a satellite was engaged in a polar orbit of Earth. All known U.S. and Russian satellites were engaged in equatorial orbit instead. Equator, eel. The U.S. Department of Defense, DoD, responded to the article and claimed that what Time reported as a satellite was actually a broken off piece of the Discoverer satellite, not its own device. No proof was offered. At the time of the sighting, the technology to put a satellite into polar orbit was not yet known by either the U.S. or Russia. In 1963, an American astronaut, Gordon Cooper, reported seeing a UFO while in orbit. This report is not listed in any official NASA documents. At a NASA station in Australia, around 100 people also saw the UFO Cooper reported. In 1973, a Scottish astronomy and science fiction author, Duncan Lunan, wrote that he had identified and deciphered a hidden radio message in outer space radio emissions that predate human existence in outer space. Lunan says the deciphered message said, "Start here. Our home is Upsilon Boots, which is a double star. We live on the sixth planet of 7, coming from the Sun, which is the larger of the two. Our sixth planet has 1 moon. Our fourth planet has 3. Our first and third planets each have 1. Our probe is in the position of Arcturus, known in our maps. Upsilon Bootis is a real star in the constellation called Boots." Lunan argued that the message originated from a planet that orbited another star in the Boots constellation, Epsilon Bootis. Right now, more than 100,000 other satellites are orbiting Earth. A satellite is any object placed intentionally into an orbit in outer space. The moon is technically a satellite, so sometimes the phrasing used is artificial satellite versus natural satellite. The Black Knight satellite is believed to be an artificial satellite, just not one with human origins. One theory suggests that the origin of the Black Knight satellite isn't alien, but actually an ancient human creation. The idea here is that an ancient race of humans, or other intelligent non-human animals on Earth, were scientifically advanced and launched the satellite before becoming extinct. Present-day status. The Dark Knight satellite is still up there orbiting the Earth Pole's mission unknown.
Kind of makes me wonder if that wasn't something from Atlantis or Lemuria before its demise, because they were known to have those
Right?
automatons and stuff like that.
Wow. I feel it's significant. Whatever it is, I feel it's very significant to our past and our future, because I feel whatever it was, they have replicated it in this day and age. That's something I feel. Anything? Anyone?
Was
It's
it?
speculation, eh?
Did they say that the Scottish UFO could be the Black Knight one satellite being pictured? Because it was pyramidal. They did finally release the photo, so it's definitely a pyramid UFO.
Yeah, I have always heard it was a pyramid UFO.
Maybe it was all connected, and when it went, because it looks like it's been blown up somehow, when the one's down here, maybe it was all connected, and when the circuitry blew up, it just ran through the circuitry.
I kind of thought that too, Luna, with the whole, if it is looking for energy, and sorry, I'm off camera, my camera's just glitching. If it is connected and the energy coming from the grid, perhaps the pyramids, perhaps the Romans have smelted the capstone off the pyramid and it lost its communication and it's just lost out there.
Good, yeah.
Okay. All right. Tell me when
Well, I think it's definitely interesting, the Batman correlation too. Black Knight, stuff.
Oh, yeah. The movies. Because I know in movies, they got to tell you part of the truth somehow. That's how they tell you.
Revelation of method. Oh, yeah.
And that
Black Knight returns, it's returned. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I feel they've replicated it somehow. What's that word they use when they take technology and backtrack it and remake it? There's a term for it. Anyway, I feel like they've done that. So, very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
Food for
probably-
thought, anyways.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're at the 2-hour mark, so we're going to put up a real fire and chill out and mull over all the information that we've received. And it's funny because I never thought, when I found the black pyramids, I knew they were important and they had a piece of the puzzle somewhere. And then Malia showed the other colours, and I thought we're kind of onto something. And I never thought up in, because, as above, so below, they would have had one.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know they faked a moon hoax back in the 1880s? Yeah, I just saw a short little documentary about it. Everyone believed it. 90% of people believe there's all these people living on the moon, and I could show you it. Actually, it only goes for 7 minutes, but pretty interesting. Unless you got something else lined up.
People living on the moon.
Well, did you want me to finish reading on the other part on
sorry.
Yes, if
the
you want.
Alaska Triangle? I mean, we can end there. It's perfect either way.
Because personally, I would have been tired by now. But if you want to keep doing that,
Oh, I got a little more in me.
a little more go
As
for
long
it.
as I can, go off screen for a minute and puff the magic dragon,
Go for it.
then
Yeah, we'll talk
I
about
can
what we.
come back.
Wrap up in a pretty pink carpet.
Yeah. And at the end of the show, it's laid back, the fire's on, and we can do whatever we like now. All right.
All
What have we
right.
got? Do you want to? Which one do you want?
Do you want to share it, or do you want me to just read it? Because I prefer the fire, and I'll just read.
Okay,
If
we'll
you
do
guys
that.
are good with that.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so I don't have to share. Okay. So this is the one about the infamous deadly Alaska Triangle and the mysterious ancient Black Pyramid. There are certain areas, excuse me, of this planet that seem to be magnets for missing persons and mysterious disappearances. For whatever reasons, people come to such places and simply vanish, never to return. Many know of the more famous of these places, such as the Bermuda Triangle, but there are more such anomalous zones to be found around the world. Perhaps one of the more little known of these regions that are seemingly hungry for more souls is a vast expanse of wilderness in the northernmost U.S. state of Alaska, a cold, barren place that has the habit of holding on to people and refusing to let go. Ooh, that reminds me of True Detectives, the last season 4 of the Alaska. Oh, what's the name of it? Like Into the Dark Night or something like that. All right, so what exactly is the Alaska Triangle? Over 16,000 have gone missing since 1988. The Alaska Triangle, a name that stems from the infamous Bermuda Triangle, is an area of wilderness connecting the three city points of Juneau, Barrow, and Anchorage. The area also covers the northern region of the Barrow Mountain Range. For decades, the triangle has been researched and talked about due to multiple mysterious disappearances. More than 16,000 people, including airplane passengers and hikers, locals, and tourists, have disappeared within the Alaska Triangle since 1988. The rate per 1,000 people is more than twice the national missing persons average, and the rate of people who are never found is even higher. The numbers do imply that something else is going on here, other than merely getting lost in the mountains. Conspiracy theorists have put together arguments of extraterrestrial activity, energy vortexes, and evil anomalies. Some even call the Alaska Triangle the Devil's Triangle, to emphasize how sinister it is. Many people believe that Bigfoot could be lurking in the forests of the Triangle. The native Tlingit people, I always have a hard time pronouncing that word, Tlingit people who live within the Triangle believe there is a benevolent shape-shifting demon known as Kushtaka, a half-man, half-otter, famous for luring people to their death by portraying women and children screaming for help. The legend says that Kushtaka captures people and steals their soul. The indigenous people in this region, the Tlingit, I'm pronouncing that wrong still. I know I am. Tlingit. Where's Joe when we need her? Believe in a creature that's called Kushtaka. It's said to be a cross between a human and an otter, which is responsible for luring unsuspecting people into Alaska's waterways. While the shapeshifter's existence has yet to be proven, it's only one theory as to why so many people disappear in this region annually. One of the most significant disappearances that happened in this area involved Congressman Hale Boggs, whose aircraft mysteriously went off the radar in 1972 while flying over the triangle. Efforts to recover the plane wreckage or any survivors was unsuccessful, and the disappearance remains a mystery to this day. The most notable example of this happened in 1986, when a Japanese plane flying from Iceland to Anchorage witnessed something that still has no explanation to this day. The plane stumbled upon what appeared to be 3 separate aircraft, all of which followed the plane's flight pattern for roughly 400 miles before they disappeared after about 30 minutes. The entire time, the pilots reported the unusual aircraft darting in and out of their line of sight and performing strange aerial maneuvers that are unlike what anyone had ever seen with the average plane. The disappearance of an airplane carrying 44 military personnel in 1950, a possible underground alien base in Fairbanks, Alaska, the curse of Kushtaka, Alaskan Bigfoot, ghost ships, and more. Some believe that the Alaska Triangle is home to its own electromagnetic variations, also known as vortexes, that affect the physical world. One example of this vile vortex is the Bermuda Triangle, but a more common example would be the North and South Poles. These types of magnetic energy centers are believed to have varying effects on humans, including anything from confusion to emotional changes. With such a vast wilderness like this one, it's not surprising that it's not exactly deemed safe for those who are inexperienced in backcountry survival. Even for those who are, the Alaskan mountains provide a challenge that's both mental and physical, and it does not go easy on newcomers. For this reason, the area is fairly unsafe for those who have little to no survival skills, and those who are lost are often not found easily. Just when you thought it was you heard it all, reports of ancient alien or long-extinct human civilization that inhabited a deep underground base, there is an even bigger mystery. The Great Underground Pyramid of Alaska, the mysterious ancient Black Pyramid. The Black Pyramid is buried deep in the ground in the Alaskan desert and would be much larger than the Great Pyramid of Giza. Ever since its discovery in the early 20th century, a succession of cover-ups has attempted to conceal the existence of a genuine finding, which, according to many, could be of extraterrestrial origin or the remains of a long-extinct human civilization. The Alaskan Pyramid was discovered on May 22, 1992, while China was conducting an underground nuclear test in Luanpo, China's northern desert, initially thought to be a big earthquake. Scientists used the seismographic, there's the name, let's see, the underground nuclear test that we were trying to figure out what are they talking about. Okay, so it's called Luanpo, and China did this in their northern desert. So initially, it was thought to be a big earthquake. Scientists used the seismographic explosion to analyze the Earth's crust and discovered a pyramidal structure far greater than the Great Pyramid of Egypt near Mount McKinley in Alaska. Despite its allegedly ancient origins, confirmation of the Black Pyramid's existence did not emerge until July 26th of 2012, when veteran journalist and UFO specialist Linda Moten Howe reported its discovery on Coast to Coast AM radio show. Linda Moulton Howe gave a study in which she stated that the area known as the Alaska Triangle is a zone of the disappearance of ships, planes, and people, and that an estimated 18,000 individuals had gone missing in that area since 1988. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. That night, Linda Moulton Howe broadcasted a pre-recorded interview with Doug Musher, a former U.S. Army counterintelligence officer, who explained the circumstances surrounding the pyramid's discovery and disclosed the link between the site and the U.S. military. Musher was relocated from Alaska to Fort Meade, the NSA's headquarters, where he was able to establish that sensitive data verified the pyramid's tale. Musher claims that, I thought, quote, I thought maybe they had something about this pyramid. So I looked up what a librarian would be, and I asked him if he had anything about archaeological sites. I didn't say pyramid, but I said archaeological sites or underground facilities in Alaska, end quote. Okay. He explained, quote, well, if we have it, it may be in X, Y, or Z containers. So I went over there and simply looked around. I didn't discover anything about pyramids, but I did get some information about Alaska from 2 separate vaults. I'd barely sat down when 2 people approached and said, hey, you don't need to know this stuff. Musher claims that a local NBC affiliate aired a report around 6 months after the blast announcing the discovery of the building. But when he sought to contact the station for a copy of the article, they denied it had been published and said they didn't have a copy to share. However, things took a bizarre turn the morning after Linda Howe's conversation with Musher. The son of a former Western Electric engineer contacted her to validate Musher's statements and to add numerous additional jigsaw pieces. Howe's new source indicated that between 1959 and 1961, his father worked on a strong electrical system emanating from a very massive subterranean pyramid of unknown origin in Alaska. And according to the new witnesses' accounts, quote, after the war, my father majored in electrical engineering and physics, and after graduating from college, he was chosen by the military to join a group of other experts to study and operate in a subterranean building in Alaska known as the Black Pyramid, end quote, in his words. He mentioned multiple times how seriously the government regarded this initiative and the precautions they took to keep it hidden. I had assumed it was a military base, but he explained that it was a research project on energy distribution. He went on to become AT&T's major information supplier, which was, of course, the predecessor of today's web and cell phone technologies. In his final years, he would often grumble when he received his power bill, claiming that it could be free if we only knew the reality. Now I'm beginning to suspect he knew a lot more than we believed. I'm going over your articles and studies to see if there are any references to your stay in Alaska. Since he stated that it was all secret stuff, there may be no information. If the pyramid discovered in 92 is accurate, our government may have known about it long before then and made tremendous steps to conceal it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. See? Those little thoughts are getting your brain up for nothing. They're telling you something's going on. That
Yeah.
explains it all. Wow.
Yeah.
We did a couple of shows back. I did a show on Port Lock in Alaska, and Port Lock is just outside the Alaskan Triangle. And in Port Lock, the hairy men were killing people basically, and in the water it was exactly what you read out, Malia. Ships were sinking and planes were going all funny, but
Yeah.
that was just outside the triangle. So, the more triangles I've found, so-called triangles that are like the Bermuda Triangle, maybe the whole world's covered in them. And we just
I've
have
wondered if the Red Rock, New Zealand Red Rock, is part of the triangle over there.
possibly.
Makes up a corner of it because the Bermuda Triangle is definitely that's I've seen that live. It swallows people. It makes ships disappear. There's planes go awry. I mean,
That's a
yeah,
lot of people to go missing in the Alaskan Triangle. Wow.
right?
Yeah, Port Lock. That's what
411, what do they call it? The missing.
411.
we
Yeah.
got one. We got one in Queensland, Ken.
Yeah.
They call it the Queensland Bermuda Triangle. Yeah, I haven't done a thing on it. I did something around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean. The more that we dig, the more we find, and everyone go home and check out your local area. And
We've got we've got this big sort of peninsula, Wilson's Promontory, and it's all national park. But yeah, a lot of people going missing there over the years, and even someone I knew, I used to know this German dude. He went to go fishing there one day, and they found his fishing rod next to his car. His lunch was there. He was vanished. They searched for him for months, and they ended up finding a body of an autistic kid that went missing. And he was found like miles and miles from where the body was found, miles from where he went missing. And that had happened 2 years prior to that. But yeah, there's a lot of little stories about that. So I sort of personally know someone who actually vanished at Wilson's Prom. Yeah.
wow.
I was just doing a little bit of math because 18,000 people since 1988. That's 26 years or 36 years, right? So, I mean, 18,000, divide that by, what did I say, 36 years?
Mhm.
That's 500 people a year.
Yeah, that's a lot, isn't it? Wow.
Like 500
Unreal.
people a year, and we're just hearing about this now. What?
I noticed a lot more people are dying of snakes lately in Australia. We're getting more snake bites than we ever used to. It's mainly browns. Yeah.
Oh, well, last week
That's
with snakes, I
interesting.
got traumatized.
It was a
These
very
days,
snaky week.
Listen,
I've been lucky this summer.
Hmm.
I've had blue tongues everywhere. The big lizards, they actually do seem to keep them away because I haven't seen one snake on the property. So
yeah, I've
touch
just
wood. Still not
Yeah.
over.
Knock on wood.
While Malia was reading, I ducked out to feed my wild blue tongues that I looked after when they were little.
Oh, you've got
Yeah,
Oh,
Summer and Lulu. They live outside now. I just help them before winter's coming, before they mate.
yeah, they're cute. I love them.
That missing
Pretty chill.
persons thing, I've been following missing persons, and apparently there's a lot of missing people. Like, how come we haven't heard of 500 people in one? Like, if something happens in areas and people keep doing cycles, there's something there, but they're hiding it. Even the national parks and all that, they're hiding it. They're not telling anyone.
but
What's that?
still, like, even that, though, I think a huge part of why we haven't really heard so much about it is 2020, COVID years. There's
Yeah.
this pandemic going on with all of these numbers being added, lost and missing to that. And how many people, like we were talking about before, ran out into places like Glacier and Yellowstone and mountainous areas, and we have the end of the world fanatics who just like, it's the end of the world, run to the bush, run to the hill.
Yeah.
It's just like, wait, don't do that yet. and even if it was, meteorite and the whole place is gonna burn, like, okay, let's just stand here and take it.
Yeah, nothing you can do about it.
I'm gonna be on the front lines. I want to be on the front lines, so that means I better stand my ground.
Oh, you know, you showed a video of the koala growling, Luna.
Yeah.
I've actually got one. Yeah, I
Have
hang
you?
around.
All right.
I hung around with a bunch of koalas last year. When I was,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, cool. We'll
it's a pretty short video. I'll see if
check
I
it out and share it. We'll go to her bus. That's 2.5 hours. And
might just take me. It's only for a few minutes there, but
yeah,
where
we've still
are
got 2 minutes or so, man. So it's all cool.
oh, there we are. Right.
It's been an interesting evening or afternoon for me. Evening for the others. Jules had to go because she's busy tomorrow, and we'll all be back.
Oh, I got
Have
so
you
many
found it?
koala bits. Yeah, here we are.
You found it? Yeah.
Night, night, Jules.
I was looking for me
Good
beagle.
night.
She used to wander off, but this fella, every time he used to see me, he used to growl. He'd give himself away all the time.
Yeah, it's like you hear from miles.
So it's there. I think you have to
I
add
got
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
She can
Let's have a
hardly
look.
walk when she got up this morning. Oh, I thought she was going to be crippled.
This is where I used to live on the island, you know, off the grid,
Go for another walk.
before I come back here.
Well, she hasn't done that for about 5 days. So. One way it's good, another way I'm worried because she could get crippled and in the bush and I wouldn't know where the fuck she was.
How long to go for?
No Annie behind me. Oh, God. Oh, I'll check the dam.
There's the big wild Barren Island geese. They just roam everywhere. They're good eating, I heard.
Wow.
They're protected, but you know, the
I was
islanders.
just about to say that. That's a good feed.
Yeah,
there,
those
when
are-
they went hungry.
See the koala run up the tree? Just got up the tree away from me.
Yeah, they move quick.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's,
they move quick.
just have a look, but I doubt if she's
Yeah, I missed my car. It's still on the island.
and so
Oh, how come they picture them?
okay, but doesn't look like Annie's here. She comes here sometimes when she wanders. Hey, buddy. How's it hanging? Hey, mate.
Aww.
Kookaburras, eh?
Oh. Kookaburra.
Here he goes.
Oh, you sound scary. Ooh.
Yeah, he was a real growly fella, that one.
Hey, he sounds a bit like a lion or a dragon.
Yeah.
Big grumbly.
Moin.
Lots
Yeah,
to
had about 6 on the property there, you know. I
Continue our
used to
search
be able to
for
pat
my
him.
puppy dog. Oi.
There was a younger one that
Good
used to
day,
let me
mate.
pat it. Yeah, so that's about
Oh,
it.
that's
I'm
cool,
trying to call
man.
out to a dog that's deaf.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice and cool up there. Okay, bro. Let's look for Annie.
Wonder what he was saying to you, Kim.
So this is my dam, you know.
What are you doing coming back here? Yeah, it makes you wonder. Oh, that was cool. Thanks, Kim.
Yeah.
No, my beagle, she used to hang around with those geese. You know, I'd be looking for her and there she'd be walking around with them. And peacocks. There's plenty of peacocks there.
Yeah, they'd be a good feed them geese.
They're pretty cool, the peacocks. They weren't that noisy either. And ducks.
Alright.
There's ducks.
We're coming up to 2.5, so
Oh,
thank you everyone for coming on today.
jeez. Everyone, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Ken. You can hang around a bit if you want after show in the backstage. Thank you, Malia, for coming and saving my.
Yeah.
Hey,
It was
pretty
fun.
nice.
It was a co-effort. It was good. I liked it. It was fun.
Thank you, and hopefully we'll have you back. And Jules had to go, so we thank you, Jules, as always.
Cheers, Jules. And-
Polly, as usual, a total pleasure to have you with us.
Yeah,
It's
you're
always
still there,
fun
Paul.
being here. Hey, Ken.
Cheers, Polly. Good to see you.
Oh,
Yeah, cheers
Yeah.
back, brother.
Yep.
Polly, you said something about snow. You had snow, isn't it? Like spring now?
Oh, for fuck's sakes. The third day of spring, and we've got like the worst blizzard we've had all winter.
Wow.
Wow.
And this is what I've been
Wow.
saying, though. Winter just ends later,
Yeah.
and it keeps getting later every year. This happened last year, too.
Yeah, I
It happens
know.
every time I shave my head, actually.
No, I've noticed that winter seems to go longer than it used to, that's for sure.
Well, we
Boy,
didn't
it
even have a
feels-
winter.
It
It's
feels
been-
like we're already midsummer here. Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, the
It's-
jet stream's all messed up.
We're getting cold. I've got long sleeves on. And Polly, what you said about the hair, every winter I've let on my legs and I get excited, oh, summer's coming, and I take the hairs off my legs and my legs freeze and I've got to wait. I'm sure winter's getting longer or getting later.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm getting excited. I get to take the hair off the legs again. I
You
love
get
how
to
you
do
put
it.
that. Winter's
I was
over.
just dying for summer, you know. Now it's summer's nearly, well, it's over, but
Yeah.
still got a few more nice months, but not much.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
I'm going to send some of the sunshine. We have an overabundance of it down here, Polly. So from California, headed up to you and your poor storm. Oh my gosh. That's terrible.
Yeah.
I heard like the Northwest states are just getting slammed.
We got lucky all year.
Yeah, mate of
No
mine,
snow.
he got snowed in the other day, like a big snowstorm up at near Boulder, somewhere. Not that way. Colorado.
Yeah.
Had some
Colorado
bad
got it.
ones.
Montana got it.
It's all good, though, because I just stay warm in the greenhouse.
Yeah, it's a place, eh?
so warm in the greenhouse.
Sure.
Yes.
In fact, I'm
So
going
warm.
to do that. I'm going to get a greenhouse.
How do you heat your greenhouse? You use wood fire or electric heat or radiant heat?
People.
People heat?
Just
How
sun.
many people does it take? Are they alive or dead? No wait.
They're alive. They're alive.
Okay. It wouldn't heat very well if you used dead ones. It might
You're
get
right.
cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Although
used
they,
to grow.
They do have a
I
thermal
used
mass
to go
property.
indoors
but
in a
yeah, we're getting
caravan, and
Right?
I used to grow indoors in a caravan. During winter, I'd go in there because, you know, really nice and warm under the lights and just read a book or something, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many people does it take to heat a greenhouse?
Why don't you tune in tomorrow and find out?
It's funny, I like that.
Will there be
Before we
video?
go, we've got to get a
Sometimes
plug
it
in.
only takes myself. Sometimes it's like 20 people. I don't know. Depends on what I'm talking about, I guess.
Zoe is chiming in and saying, "My dad is full of it." Zoe, she's
yeah,
so
that's-
cute.
That's why you gotta get it out.
All right, everyone, we are out of here. And until next week, we love you on the stage.
yeah,
Crowd loves you. Stay centered. Keep your peace. Thank you, everyone, for coming. And I hope you come back next week. When we come back with, who knows what we're coming back with, we won't know until we get there. And we'll rock it out with the fire, and we'll see you next week. Yalu, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Cheerio. Yalu.
Yalu.
Hooroo.
Stay bright.
Ding ding. We're gonna get you a door